The Extreme Weather Simulator is provided to us by Channel One News. If you were to do a quick Google search of this, you can type into the search bar Extreme Weather Simulator Channel One, and the first option that pops up would be the correct site. When you click on it, you will immediately be redirected to the appropriate site where it provides you with a background of the simulation. The background reads that Channel One News' Extreme Weather Simulator gives you a chance to see Mother Nature's destructive side. Send in the clashing air masses, whip up the winds, and drop the precipitation that send our planet into chaos when blizzards, tornadoes, and tropical cyclones strike. Take a tour of the world's worst weather disasters in history, then explore the science behind these extreme storms. If you see, this is a world map, and on the left side there are 4 different icons. The first icon is the globe, which will redirect you to a page that looks like this. On the globe, there are different weather disasters in history, which you can take a look at. There are 3 different icons. The purple is for the blizzard, the red is for the tornadoes, and the yellow is for the tropical cyclones. If you were to choose a blizzard, it will redirect you, or it will pop up with a new screen that provides you with information about this historical event. The blizzard of January 12th, 1888 is described as the Children's Blizzard, and it gives you a little bit of a background of what exactly that is. You can also look at different weather disasters in history across the world. So if you were to move over here, you can choose on this cyclone. It'll provide you with more information. So the Super Typhoon Nina, which was on August 2nd, 1975, was categorized as a Category 3 storm. So it's a really good way to get a look at not only things that happened in our country, but also things that happen across the world. If you wanted to take a closer look at the actual icons, you can press the plus or magnification icon, where it will redirect you and it'll bring you closer so that you can see things in actual parts of the world. And then you can also move over with your hand clicker in order to see different parts. After you have explored different places in the world with the globe icon, you can then choose a different icon on the left. So we have our tornadoes, we have our cyclones, and we have our blizzards. When you press on the tornado, it will redirect you to a page that gives you information, but also a visual simulation. So you can see that this is an EF2 tornado classification. And then at the bottom, it'll tell you the wind speed and the funnel width needed in order to classify the tornado as an EF2. If you were to change it to an EF3, the wind speed and the funnel width will change, as well as the actual tornado. If you were to change it to an EF4, the wind speed again and the funnel width will also change. In addition to just changing the wind speed and the funnel width and then trying to play with what the actual tornado will look like, you can be provided with additional information on how tornadoes form. Each of the tabs, tornadoes, cyclones, and blizzards, has this tab at the bottom that tells you and provides you with more information about how the tornado or the natural disaster would occur. So on this page, it gives you information how tornadoes form. They form as a result of powerful rotating storms called supercells. Fast-moving winds roll the air below the storm cloud into a horizontal spinning tube or vortex. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots on the bottom, that means there are 5 additional pages or 5 pages in total that'll give you more information about how tornadoes form. In addition to providing us with information about tornadoes, we can also go to the left icon and choose the cyclones in order to get more information about how tropical cyclones form. On the right, it'll give you Category 1 information, Category 2, Category 3, Category 5, Category 4, and Category 5 information. In addition to being able to just change the categories and then see what happens with the wind speed and the diameter of the cyclone, you can also change the wind speed and the diameter yourself. That way, when you play with the diameter and the wind speed yourself, you can then see what happens to the category and vice versa. So again, in addition to being able to look at the different categories, the devastating damage, the wind speed, and the diameter of a cyclone, you can press this bottom button in order to see what actually happens when a tropical cyclone forms, which it states it can form when ocean temperatures rise above 80 degrees Fahrenheit. As water evaporates at the surface, warm, moist air rises, cools, and forms a cloud. At the bottom, it says there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 circle tabs, which means there are 5 different pages that you can look at in order to gather more information about tropical cyclones. In addition to being able to see and hear about tropical cyclones, you can press the left icon to come to blizzards. The best thing I like about the different visual simulations is that when you change it from light to moderate to heavy, it actually shows you the different ways that this blizzard would look like in terms of its classification. So again, in addition to being able to look at the wind speed, visibility, and accumulation, you would be able to see what the actual blizzard looks like. Again, in addition to being able to look at the different classifications, you could also gather more information about how blizzards form. And this page tells us that it requires 3 basic ingredients: freezing temperatures in the clouds and near the ground, moisture, and lift. Because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, that means there are 5 pages that you can look at in order to gather more information about blizzards. If we were to go back to the tornado classifications, as you change or play with the different classifications, the actual tornado will change just very slightly, in addition to the tropical cyclones, which the categories change and the visual simulations change a little bit more. When you play with the diameter cyclone diameter decreases, making the cyclone smaller, while if you make it larger, that means in addition to the wind speed gaining speed, that makes the category higher or more powerful. If we were to go back to the globe icon, and we can just demagnify, we can again look at the different events in history. So the thing I like the most about this extreme weather simulator is that it's really very easy to use, and there are only a few pages, different pages that you can go to, which makes it really easy for everyone to navigate. My thoughts about who this was made for, I really think it's anyone who wants more information about weather disasters in history and how the weather disasters form. I think it's really important for both students, parents, guardians to take a look at this and really get a chance to see how powerful Mother Nature can be. I really like the simulator because in our first quarter, my students read a book on disasters. My teaching partner, Ms. Clark, talks about disasters and weather disasters in history and natural disasters in her science class. And the best thing about this simulator is that it provides you with historical events as well, which is a nice bridge to social studies. So it's a really easy way to connect social studies, reading, science, and math all into one. The math really comes into play with this because it gives you wind speed and visibility and the different factors that can contribute to the different classifications. So it's a really nice interdisciplinary simulator. If I were to give it a rating 1 through 5, I would definitely say it's about 4 stars. The only reason why I would not give it 5 stars is because I really wish that it had different types of natural disasters, such as hurricanes, so that students can get a little bit more information in such a nice way about more than just a blizzard, tornado, and a tropical cyclone. So overall, I would definitely give it 4 stars, and I would recommend it for anyone from 4th all the way up until maybe 9th grade to use this in the classroom in order to provide students with a little bit more information about the topics.